Welcome back, fellow Horror Night fans and Universal fans alike. Welcome back to another episode of Halloween Horror World, where today we're jumping right into speculation. That's right, guys. It's 2016 and we're still speculating. We're going to jump straight into speculating about 2017. Now, this year was a complete knockout on both parks. Hollywood was amazing this year. I'm so happy I got to experience it. It was one of my favorite years that I've ever been to the event. So, with that kind of in mind and what they possibly have done before, it'd be great to see what they do for the 2017 event. Now with Hollywood, let's start with Hollywood. The Hollywood event has quite a bit of potential, though the majority of it has been IPs in the past. I kind of do want to see at least one original concept. We saw the success with La Llorona. Not really so much with El Cucuy, but more for La Llorona. It definitely won Maze of the Year. And it was definitely a favourite of mine. So I'd like to see more original mazes kind of sneak their way in. Now whether John decides to go that route is kind of up in the air. We didn't get any original mazes last year. It was all completely movie based. But we have seen the potential in the past for an original maze. I mean, this list is going to be half speculation, half wish list, but for my wish list, I'd love to see a return of the Asylum. The Asylum was one of the original mazes back in 2006 for when the director took over Halloween Horror Nights for Hollywood. It was one of the few times that the events had an icon, and one of the mazes was the Asylum. Now, it wasn't Shady Brook, which is completely an original concept for Orlando. It's never been at the Hollywood event. Do I wish to see Shady Brook? Yeah, I'd love to see Shady Brook, but the chances of it being in Hollywood are very minimal, though. I'd love to see kind of a rendition using the story they built off the 2006 maze, maybe do a sequel to it, or do kind of what Orlando did with Shady Brook, where they had a decrepit version of the Asylum. That would be cool to see. I think that would also work really well. Kind of shake it up a bit. I still stand by the fact that the scariest mazes tend to be ones you don't really know too much about. Going into a maze like Freddy vs. Jason, you expect to see Freddy, you expect to see Jason. With something like the Asylum, you can get away with almost anything. Surprise scares, like unfamiliar characters. I mean, you know, obviously going into something like that, you know you're going to see patients, you're going to see mad doctors, but the whole layout is going to be unfamiliar for you. I mean, with, like, for example, Krampus, I know I'm going to see the Krampus house, I know I'm going to see the Gingerbread Man, I know those environments are familiar, and in some ways they dampen the fear. But with something like an original maze, it would definitely bring a surprise flavor to the year. It doesn't necessarily have to be a comedic maze either. Somehow, usually one tends to pop up. And I think this year kind of was Krampus, but I don't really count that as a comedic maze. But I'd love to see more original concepts kind of sneak in. Whether John feels the need to kind of experiment again with that, because it's kind of been a hit and miss. We've seen successes with La Llorona, which has been a major maze back in 2011 and 2012. And we've kind of seen misfires like El Cucuy, which is a shame because the concept for that maze was fantastic. Now, there are a few hiccups when that maze first got off, but there was a few things that were a bit off with it. The scares were a bit lackluster, unfortunately. However, again, like the problem with original mazes, you don't necessarily have the draw power you do with an IP. You're not going to get that same draw as you do with, say, something like American Horror Story or Walking Dead or Friday the 13th, or even The Exorcist. So that's the problem with original mazes, and that's why I think John kind of doesn't do it as often as, say, Orlando, because you don't really have that draw power for it. But I mean, it shouldn't have to matter with mazes that you already have. I mean, we've got The Walking Dead as a year-round attraction for Hollywood, so I mean, in that regards, I don't see it as too much of a problem. However, the maze itself could be a hit or miss. It could be the lowest ranked maze for that year. So I think that's why John and the creative team tends to stay away from original mazes and don't do one like every year. But one of the major things with Hollywood that is definitely hit John's wish list that I would love to see done in a live environment is the original John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing movie. Now we've done The Exorcist. That white whale has been set free. It's gone. We've done it. I don't see them doing a sequel maze to The Exorcist. Maybe bringing it back later down the line, but I don't see it coming back for next year, for 2017. That I kind of get a sense for. I'm again, this is all speculation, but I don't think The Exorcist will be coming back. I think John's tried it. It's good. It didn't necessarily get ranked the highest rated maze. I believe that honor went to Krampus. So, I mean, if something as big a movie as The Exorcist gets beat out by Krampus, and don't get me wrong, both are great films, but it kind of says that maybe that's a one-off thing. Maybe they'll bring it back later and upgrade it. But with John Carpenter's The Thing being kind of on John's wish list next to, say, The Exorcist, I would love to see that, and I kind of get the feeling John might do it for 2017, and I hope he does, because one of my all-time favorite mazes for Halloween Horror Nights has always been, and I stand by this, is the 2011 Thing maze. Now, say what you will about the film, but the maze itself was fantastic. The design, the sets, that cold environment, and I've said this in previous videos, we don't see a lot of cold mazes. Krampus was amazing because it was a different kind of setup. It wasn't just a rundown like building, urban environment. It's a house, but like, you know what I mean. It's not like, you don't see snow a lot. Let's say that you don't see a very cold, frigid, icy environment used in mazes that much. So, and we've seen that with the creature effects of AVP, of the 2011 Thing. We've seen this at the event. We know it's possible, and to see Rob Bottin's creatures come to life in that live environment would be fantastic. So yeah, I would love to see The Thing, and I kind of get the feeling that we will see it, maybe not next year, but soon, shortly after, and I would love to see that in the lineup. That would get me to that event, like, buy my ticket straight away, go straight to there, just so I could experience the 1982 film. In other speculation, Halloween's done. I think with Halloween, the problem is the two major ones are Halloween and Halloween 2, and the only one I can think of doing, possibly, barring Michael Myers, is maybe Halloween 3, kind of doing an original concept with using the concept of Season of the Witch. Michael's a very difficult one. The only other kind of possibility using Halloween's license is creating your own story behind it, kind of creating an original Halloween maze. So I don't see that coming back. Walking Dead year-round, confirmed. You heard it here first. Walking Dead's confirmed. No, just kidding. It's a year-round maze. It's going to come back. It's never going to go away now, so we can all stop speculating about The Walking Dead. Well, you get kind of one half of that pie. I mean, everyone's wanting The Walking Dead to go away. Well, now we can stop speculating that it's going to return every single year, because it will. So, let's talk a little bit about Orlando. With Orlando, we're going to definitely see probably more original mazes. I think I almost said last year, it's still 2016. For this year, from what I've heard, it was kind of a hit and miss. The Tomb of the Ancients and Ghost Town, The Curse of Lightning Gulch, amazing mazes. Fantastic concepts, fantastic setups, great characters, and some really good scares. And I like some of the effects that they used, and like the rain effect in Ghost Town. It's a really good effect. With the other kind of side of that too is Lunatic's Asylum was kind of a mismatch, didn't work out as well as possible. But obviously, I'm hoping we see more original concepts come back for Orlando, because they do it really well, and they have the space to kind of expand upon those ideas that they have with them. In terms of IPs, I can kind of see them, as I said with the 1982 Thing film, I could see that being a joint. I mean, both events had the 2011 film, but I mean, that was to promote the film. They did it at both events. From what I've heard, the Orlando one was pretty good. I've heard mixed things on it. I mean, I really enjoyed the Hollywood one. But I think both creators, Mike and John, would love to do that original classic and bring it to life at one of the best Halloween haunts in the nation, because they can pull it off. They have that resource to pull off the creatures from that were so fantastically brought to life by Rob Bottin. So I could see both parks doing that as a shared. Speculation wise, in terms of, it's kind of like a wish, but I would love to see the original Alien. Now I know this is kind of a heated topic with fans because it's just the rights getting it. I mean, we got AVP, but getting the original Alien, because I believe there was something to do with Disney and the great American movie ride, having a bit of share out of that. I would love to see them do the original Alien. I know that's on John's wish list. Again, that's another one for Hollywood. Alien, I could see being a shared IP for both Orlando and Hollywood. Orlando would knock it out of the park. They've got the space to do it. If they give it a soundstage, seeing the Nostromo come to life would be fantastic. So yeah, that's with Orlando as well. I could see Trick or Treat. And again, this can be joined in with Hollywood. Trick or Treat is definitely a really good one to bring. I believe with the success of Krampus in Hollywood, that'd be more something Hollywood could possibly get. Seeing though Krampus in Orlando was a bit lackluster, though seeing John's partnership with Mike with it, I could see them bringing Trick or Treat finally to the event. Whether that be in Orlando as well, that's kind of up in the air. So yeah, that's just some preliminary speculation for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you guys have a bit of speculation yourself, please feel free to give me a let know in the comments below. And until the next time, guys, if you've liked this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Until the next time, this is Crazy Englishman signing out.